In the relentless grind of modern life, where the weight of expectations crushes like an avalanche, you've seen it. The good men around you buckling under pressure, their spirits fractured by failure, loss, and the chaos of a world that demands everything but offers nothing in return. You're tired of it, aren't you? The vulnerability that feels like weakness, the emotional storms that leave you exposed and defeated. But what if I told you that Stoicism holds the forge where men are made unbreakable, turning ordinary resolve into ironclad strength that weathers any storm? Imagine standing in the eye of the hurricane, unyielding, your mind a fortress, built not on luck or genetics, but on ancient wisdom that shapes warriors from within. This is how Stoicism builds men who never break, the path to becoming the version of yourself that stands tall when others fall. Stay with me, because this journey could armor you for life, forging a legacy of resilience that echoes through your every step. Envision the man you've been or seen, a shadow of potential, swayed by fleeting emotions, quick to crack under scrutiny or setback. His days a battle against inner demons he can't name. It's the story of our time. Careers that demand perfection, relationships that test limits, and a culture that celebrates fragility over fortitude. But deep down, you know there's more. You feel the call to rise, to be the man who endures. Marcus Aurelius, that stoic emperor who led Rome through wars and plagues, embodied this transformation. In the dim light of his campaign tents, he wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment." He didn't just survive, he thrived, building an unbreakable core through daily discipline, showing that true men are forged in the quiet moments of self-mastery. Start there, in the solitude of your morning, confronting your thoughts, not as a victim, but as a builder of unshakable strength. As we step into the shadows of what breaks men, let's face the raw truth. It's not the world that shatters us, but our reactions to it. You've felt the sting, the rage that boils over trivial slights, the doubt that whispers you're not enough, the fear that paralyzes in the face of uncertainty. Epictetus, the former slave who rose through sheer mental grit, knew this battlefield well. He taught, "A man is not strong by his physical stature, but by his moral and intellectual force." Picture him in his humble school, chains of his past irrelevant as he trained men to control their responses, evolving from fragile to formidable. In your life, that means identifying the triggers, perhaps that failed promotion or a broken trust, and choosing to respond with stoic resolve, building resilience that turns pain into power, ensuring you never break. Now, the path takes shape, as Stoicism lays the first bricks of an unbreakable foundation. Discipline, the daily ritual that carves out strength from weakness. Seneca, the philosopher who navigated the treachery of imperial courts, lived this truth. He wrote, "It's not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." He built his unbreakability through voluntary hardships, denying comforts to toughen his spirit, emerging as a man who couldn't be bent by circumstance. Apply that to your routine. Wake before the world, push through discomfort, whether it's a grueling workout or focused work amid distractions. Each act a hammer strike, forging your mental steel. Visualize yourself in the early dawn, breath steady, body moving, not for show, but for the quiet satisfaction of knowing you're constructing a self that stands firm. Feel the rhythm building as we explore emotional mastery, the stoic shield that guards against the arrows of despair. Men break when emotions rule them. Anger unchecked, grief overwhelming, desires unchecked. But Marcus Aurelius mastered this in the heat of battle, reminding himself, "Choose not to be harmed, and you won't feel harmed. Don't feel harmed, and you haven't been." It's not suppressing feelings, it's commanding them, turning turmoil into tranquility. In your world, that argument with a loved one or the sting of rejection becomes a test, not a defeat. Picture standing in the storm, emotions surging, but you, the master, directing them like a general, building a man who absorbs blows and rises stronger, never breaking. The journey intensifies, delving into acceptance, the cornerstone that makes men unbreakable. Life's injustices, unfair losses, betrayals, the randomness that mocks plans, can shatter the unprepared. Epictetus faced this as a slave. Yet he evolved, saying, "Demand not that things happen as you wish, but wish them to happen as they do, and your life will go smoothly." He built unbreakability by focusing on what he could control, letting go of the rest. For you, that means accepting the unchangeable, perhaps a health setback or a career shift, and channeling energy into adaptation, growing through adversity. Envision the scene. You're hit with unexpected hardship, the world closing in, but your stoic mind pivots, rebuilding, emerging not just intact, but fortified. As the shadows fade, let's weave in how Stoicism builds resilience through reflection, the daily forge of self-improvement. You've likely ignored your inner voice, letting days blur into regret, but Seneca championed this. As long as you live, keep learning how to live. He reviewed his days, extracting lessons from failures, evolving into a man of unyielding character. Make this your practice. End each day in quiet contemplation, not dwelling on excuses, but analyzing actions, building the mental architecture that withstands any assault. Imagine your journal as a blueprint, each entry a step toward the unbreakable man, your evolution a silent triumph. The momentum surges now as we confront the modern myths that weaken men: toxic masculinity, the illusion of invulnerability without substance. Stoicism cuts through this, offering virtue as the true builder: courage, wisdom, justice, temperance. Marcus Aurelius lived by these, not as a facade, but as the essence of his strength, writing, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." In your pursuit, embody these virtues daily. Stand for what's right. Seek knowledge. Act with temperance, forging a man who doesn't break because he's rooted in principle. Picture the transformation. From reactive boy to resolute man, your actions speaking of unbreakability. Deeper into the forge, let's address the pain of this building process, the isolation, the effort, the moments when you feel you're breaking to be remade. Epictetus endured this, his philosophy born from suffering, teaching that true strength comes from within. Embrace the fire, using it to evolve, emerging harder, better. Now the emotional charge rises, Stoicism's power fueling your ascent. You're not destined to break, you're built to endure, like the Stoics before you. In this crescendo, feel the rebirth. The man who never breaks, armed with Stoic wisdom. Carry it forward and let your life prove the forge works.